Good evening, this is Chuck W30, and I'm operating as W30C Net Control over the Two Rivers Amateur Radio Club net. This net meets every Monday here at 8 p.m. on the Two Rivers Amateur Radio Club repeater system, operating here on 147.12 megahertz, and also on Echolink. Membership in the Two Rivers ARC is not required to check in this net, as all radio amateurs are welcome. If you'd like information about the Two Rivers ARC, you can write to us at P.O. Box 225, Greenock, PA, zip code 15047. We're also on the Internet's World Wide Web at https://trarc.org. And we also have a Facebook page. Meetings are held on the third Tuesday of every month except in December, starting at 7 p.m. Currently at the Blaney Volunteer Fire Department Social Hall, 409 Oxford Avenue, Elizabeth, PA. We're open to separate check-ins with emergency or priority traffic at this time. Okay, we're open to separate check-ins. Okay, I did that. Please, when you check into this net, give your call sign slowly and phonetically, and state your own announcements or comments to the net. Okay, I'm going to take a quick standby. Anybody on Echolink wants to check in, call now.
W30C, please recognize Alpha 3 Mike Romeo, AA3MR, name is Walt, Rocky Gap, Maryland. Good evening to you and everybody on the net. No comments.
W30C, this is Kilo Charlie 3 Zulu India X-Ray, Jeff and Irwin. Good evening, everybody on the net. No traffic.
Okay, I got Alpha 3 Mike Radio Portable and Kilo Charlie 3 Zulu India X-Ray on Echolink. Alrighty, I'll take another quick standby. Anybody else on Echolink?
W30C, here's Kilo Alpha 3 Zulu Juliet Whiskey. Dave in the South Side. Good evening, Chuck.
W30C, this is Alpha 3 Mike Romeo. Would like to make a comment there, Chuck.
Looking up, any members of the Two Rivers Board of Directors wishing to check in, call now.
Chuck, stand by. A3MR would like to make an announcement.
Hey, Alpha 3 Mike Radio Portable, go ahead.
Thank you, Chuck. This is Alpha 3 Mike Romeo. I'd like to send my condolences out to a good friend that passed away, Timothy Quinn, died at the U.S. Steel Clareton Works explosion today. And I work in that area quite often, so would just like to send my prayers to him and his family and all of the injured employees down there, and just like to say a prayer to all those ones that got injured and the one that's deceased, to him and his family. Thank you, Chuck. Back over to Net Control. Alpha 3 Mike Romeo.
Roger, thank you very much, Walt. Alpha 3 Mike Radio Portable. Okay, thank you for your comments. Okay, all right, let me continue on. Okay. And many members of the Board of Directors wishing to check in.
W30C, please recognize November 3, Juliet Hotel Bravo, Portable out here in Pleasant Hills. Also with Whiskey 3 Delta Tango Papa. Good evening to everyone on the net. No traffic. Net Control.
Net control, recognize Kilo 3 Charlie Romeo Oscar. John Baldwin, and just one comment, a silent key.
Hey, John, you have a silent key?
Affirmative.
Please go ahead with your silent key.
Paul Bears, November 3, Lima, Quebec, Echo, from Westmoreland County.
Hey, Paul Bears, Bravo Echo Alpha Radio Sugar, is that correct?
November 3, Lima, Quebec, Echo.
Okay, Roger, thank you. All right, we're going to take a standby for remembrance of silent keys. Paul, November 3, Lima, Quebec, Echo. This is Whiskey 3 Oscar Charlie. Okay, this is W3OC. Thank you for taking time in remembrance of Paul, N3LQE, and also the civilian Alpha Alpha 3 Mike Radio reported at the explosion at the Cokeworks happened this morning. I know I read that on the news and the reports. It's quite devastating, that's for sure. All right, let me continue on with some check-ins here. Any other members of the Two Rivers Board of Directors wishing to check in? All right, let's continue on with regular check-ins. I'm looking for a station to operating mobile, portable, or outside of Allegheny County.
W3OC. Here is Kilo Bravo 3, Delta Victor Delta, Adolph from Irwin, Westmoreland County. Good evening, Chuck, and everybody on the net. No further comment.
W3OC. W3OC is recognized Alpha Alpha 3, Alpha Charlie, Senior Portable, here in Pittsburgh. You need to see Chuck and those on the net. I'm Chopper.
W3OC. Here's Kilo Bravo 3, Victor Sierra Papa, Dan, Beaver County. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening to the net. W3OC. This is Kilo Alpha 3, Kilo Sierra Papa, Jim Portable in Carnegie.
3OC. Please recognize November 3 Tango Alpha uniform. That's N3TAU Norman Penn, Westmoreland County, Portable. Good evening, Chuck. No traffic.
Hey, this is W3OC. Here's what I got so far. Alpha 3 Mike Radio Portable and Echo Link, Kilo Charlie 3 Zulu in the X-ray. Echo Link, Kilo Alpha 3 Zulu Japan Whiskey, Echo Link. Kilo Bravo 3 Delta Victor Delta, Alpha 3 Alpha Charlie Portable. Kilo Bravo 3 Victor Sugar Papa, Kilo Alpha 3 Kilo Sugar Papa Portable, and November 3 Tango Alpha Uniform. Anybody else, mobile, portable, or outside of Allegheny? All right, now we'll open up for general check-ins. Anyone else like check-in has done so, call now.
W3OC. W3OC, this is Kilo Delta 3, Bravo Alpha Alpha, KD3BAA, Jeremiah and McKeesport. Good evening, Chuck, and everyone on the net.
W3OC. W3OC, please copy. Whiskey 3, Sierra Hotel Fox, Steve and Pitcairn. Good evening, Chuck, and everyone out there on the net.
W3OC, Whiskey Alpha 3, IONU, Gino here, in your house.
W3OC, there is Kilo 3, Hotel India Romeo. I want to offer my condolences for the family of Silent Key, and I was very pleased to hear that AA3MR Walt was not in the Clerton area today. Back to net.
W3OC, please recognize Kilo Alpha 3 Echo Kilo Oscar. I'm going to call back. Can you tell me what Tom's sounding into the repeater?
Okay, here's what I got. Thank you, W3OC. I got Kilo Delta 3 Bravo Alpha Alpha, Whiskey 3 Sierra Hotel Fox, Whiskey America 3 India Oscar Uniform, Kilo 3 Hotel India Radio, and Stubby, your audio is very low. Kilo Alpha 3 Kilo Oscar. Okay, anybody else wishing to check in, call now. None of it. All right, we'll stop at this point. Thank you all for taking the time to check in us this evening on this warm evening. I'm very grateful for the cool mornings we've been having lately, and makes for pretty good sleeping through the night, that's for sure. But hope everybody's having a good week so far. We're doing okay here, sort of. Could be better, of course, like everything else. As far as Two Rivers activities is concerned, we have quite a bit of activities that goes on each month. On a weekly basis, we have 2 other radio nets that meet, one on Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. on this repeater system. It's called the Two Rivers ARC GapNet. It's a social gathering. Welcome to join us for that. And Thursday nights at 8 o'clock p.m. on 10 meters, 28,460 on upper sideband. Welcome to join us for that too. We're always looking for check-ins for that. The Radio Club also has other activities during the month. We have Operations Night. That's a social activity, an operational thing where we get on the air, or we have some teaching things goes on. That's held on the second Thursday of each month. Starts at 7 p.m. At the Lincoln Borough Volunteer Fire Department Social Hall. That's on Liberty Way in Elizabeth, PA. Second Saturday of each month, we have the Two Rivers ARC Hampton X Breakfast. That's for the families and anybody else wishing to join us. Starts at 9:30 a.m. at the Rock Run Inn, located at Bunkers Golf Course. That's located on Rock Run Road in Elizabeth, PA. That was just held last Saturday. Operations Night is scheduled for this Thursday night up there at Lincoln at 7 o'clock. We have other activities coming up. The Radio Club's picnic is coming up on the 23rd, also called the Corn Roast. It's being held at the White Oak Park, Chestnut Grove in White Oak, PA. It starts at around 1 o'clock. You're welcome to come out for that. We also have a Ham Fest in the early springtime, usually in April. And also, we also have volunteer examiners at different times of the year, 4 times a year, mostly held at the Keysport Area High School over at Eden Park Boulevard at 6:30 p.m. The next one is scheduled, I believe, for September. Okay, looking at the calendar of other activities I can find. I guess last Saturday was the Uniontown ARC Gap Fest. Hope many of you may get a chance to make it out for that. The next Ham Fest here in the area is on the 24th, sponsored by the Skyview Radio Society at their Swap and Shop at their club grounds, 2330 Turkey Ridge Road in Kensington, PA. Also on the weekend of the 23rd is the Ohio QSO party, the state QSO party. That's coming up, I know. It's always a fun event. Of course, other activities it goes on with our group too. September 9th is the next exam session, Tours ARC exam session, McKeesport High School. On the 16th is the Two Rivers ARC, 16th of September is a TRARC club meeting and also election of officers, 7 p.m. at the Plano Volunteer Fire Department, 409 Oxford Drive, Elizabeth, PA. Getting a little bit further down the list in October. Wait a minute, I got one I missed. Let me find it. Okay, on September 7th, the Butler County Amateur Radio Association has their Swap Fest, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Unionville Volunteer Fire Department, 102 Mahood Road in Butler, PA. It has a long PA Route 8, 4 miles north of US 422. I said they're going to have FCC amateur radio exams. They're going to have raffles and things like that, 50-50 raffle, and they're going to have food available too. If you need directions, you can call them on 147.36 repeater on 2 meters. It takes a PL tone of 131.8 hertz for activity. More information is on their website, w3udx.org, W3 Uniform Delta X-ray.org. Okay. In October 11th and 12th is the Pennsylvania QSO party. It's a very fun activity. A lot of amateurs from Pennsylvania operate that. That's where the world tries to make contact with Pennsylvania amateurs. That's a 2-day affair. Two Rivers are going to participate in that. We're scheduled for Saturday and Sunday using the Lincoln Borough Volunteer Fire Department Social Hall on Liberty Way in Elizabeth, PA. And the end of October, in the 25th and 26th, is a CQ Worldwide DX contest, single sideband mode. That's a very, very busy and very popular activity. Okay, let's see. I got something else here too. North Hills Amateur Radio Club is still having their fundraiser for a raffle for 10-wood THD 75A tri-band HT, a handy talkie. It covers 2 meters, 220, and 440 bands. It has FM and D-Star radios receiving incredible reviews and so forth. And also, the winner will also receive a high-gain diamond tri-band antenna and a Kenwood rapid desk charger. Tickets are $10 each, usually available at local Hamfest, or you can write to them. There's only 250 tickets available, so once the tickets all get sold, then they'll draw the raffle. You can write to them as North Hills Amateur Radio Club, P.O. Box 15333, Pittsburgh, PA, zip code 15237. Okay. Let's see. Let me find a DX bulletin here once. So there's a whole bunch of stuff as always. Georgia, that's a country in the Balkan states. It says Renee DL2 Juliet Radio Mexico will be operating as 4 Lima /DL2 Juliet Radio Mexico, and especially in the Worktal Europe DXCW contest. QSL is his own call sign. Malaysia 9M6 prefix. A large group of operators are operational. Is 9 Mexico 8 Alpha from Satang Besar Island. That's an island on the air activity. Oceania number 165. That's good until August 13th. There's only a couple more days for that one. Honda 9X prefix, Tony IK7 Whiskey Uniform Lima will be operational as 9 X-Ray 0 Delta X-Ray August 10th to the 19th on a humanitarian mission. Okay, Wake Island, Kilo Hotel 9 prefix, says Jim Kilo 9 Hotel India will be operational as Kilo Hotel 9 Stroke Kilo Hotel 9 Hotel India Echo from August 8th to the 22nd. Says the operation will be in its spare time 4210 meters, sideband NFT 8. Cambodia is another rare one. X-ray prefix, Franco IU0 Charlie Radio Whiskey is operational as X-ray Uniform 7 Alpha Kilo Papa from Kampong Thom, whatever that is, to get to the city. 40 through 10 meters on CW and single sideband, occasionally on digital modes. Digital mode Olivia, whatever that is. I don't think I've ever operated on that one. Again on the radio, this would be contest information. Worked all Europe DX contest. The Yankee Bravo Picasso Mercada contest. Maryland DC QSO party. SARL HF Digital contest. MCC 50th anniversary Fiesta QRP 20 meter CW Fox Hunt. NCC FT4 Sprint. Weekly RTTY test. NCC Sprint CW ladder, K1 USM slopes PCW test, and so forth and so forth. So besides the usual parks on the air activities, I just saw an email just came out here yesterday. I guess some fellows from up in the Skyview Club operated from an island in the I think it's in the Ohio River. I forget the name of it offhand. They operated from there as a parks on the air activity. So it's always kind of fun to see where the POTA parks on the air activity is. There's a website for that too. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but there's a website. Do a Google search, you can find information on various parks on the air activities. Okay, I think I pretty much covered everything. So I'm going to take a standby. Does anybody need a repeat for anything they've heard? Not heard. All right. Well, let me flip some switches. Let's see what Newsline's got tonight. This is W3OC.
2,493 with the release date of Friday, August 8th, 2025. To follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. An international partnership creates a satellite to aid disaster response. Hams honor the Navajo code talkers of World War II and finding a 20-meter dipole in a cornfield. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2,493 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. And now reporting from Valparaiso, Indiana, here's Paul Brown, WD9GCO.
Our top story takes us to space, where a satellite created through the partnership of two nations will provide a window into some of the natural disasters plaguing us here on Earth. Jim Meechan, ZL2BHF, has the details.
An unprecedented joint satellite project between the Indian Space Research Organization and NASA is giving researchers the hope of better studying the Earth's climate and helping improve responses to natural disasters by monitoring the most subtle changes on Earth, including its glaciers and wetlands. The satellite is known as NISA, the NASA ISRO Synthetic Aperture Radar Mission. Its launch aboard an ISRO spacecraft on the 30th of July from the Satish Dhawan Space Center centered on its mission to send microwaves to collect data from different surfaces on the planet. When processed, the data will be visible in an exceptionally high resolution. An estimated 80 terabytes of data will be collected daily. Scientists have said that the method has, quote, unprecedented accuracy, end quote. Researchers and governments around the world will be able to view the data via a cloud platform where they will have open access. The project is being praised as the first collaborative satellite mission of its kind between the Indian and US space agencies. This is Jim Meachin, ZL2BHF.
A Texas telecommunications company asking for FCC permission to use amateur radio frequencies between 430 and 440 megahertz has submitted a response to the U.S. regulator defending itself against concerns from ham radio operators over interference. The letter, written by AST Space Mobile, assures the agency that its satellites are designed to, quote, mitigate interference, end quote. The company also said it would shut down its use of the band if interference was found. The company's filing, reported in the PC Magazine website, reads in part that the FCC has found that AST Space Mobile's prior demonstration of no interference conform to ITU regulations and are, quote, sufficient to authorize a limited non-conforming use, end quote. The PC Magazine website noted that the FCC has received more than 2,500 comments in protest of the company's proposed use of the band. Elsewhere in space, 2 more hams have arrived aboard the ISS after a brief delay of their launch, as we hear from Travis Lisk, N3 ILS.
NASA's SpaceX Crew 11 arrived at the International Space Station in the early hours of Saturday, the 2nd of August, after a launch that suffered a one-day weather delay due to poor weather. Commander Zena Cardman, KJ5CMN, and pilot Mike Fink, KE5AIT, were accompanied by 2 mission specialists, JAXA astronaut Kamiya Uyi and Roscosmos cosmonaut Oleg Platonov. During their 7-month tenure aboard the orbiting laboratory, the team will conduct experiments on the impact of microgravity on bacteria-killing viruses. They'll also study plant cell division and human stem cells. The ISS assignment marks the first time in space for both Zena Cardman and Oleg Platonov. This is Travis Lisk, N3 ILS.
Although the 14th of August has been designated as Navajo Code Talkers Day, a group of proud amateur radio operators are taking several days to honor this special unit of brave Marines who served in the U.S. military during the Second World War. Few of these hams could be prouder than Herb Goodluck, N7HG, whose late father, John V. Goodluck, had been one of the Marines who used their own Navajo language to craft a wartime code that could not be broken. Herb will be amongst those calling QRZ from the 10th to the 15th, using the call sign N7C. Operators will be using CW, phone, and FT8. Additional details, including operating frequencies, can be found on QRZ.com. The hams will be operating from Window Rock, Arizona, at the Navajo Tribal Park and Veterans Memorial. In rural India, students at a school for boys are being rewarded for their faith in the technical expertise of amateur radio operators. The Lightning Arrestor project they have been collaborating on for several years with the hams is ready to be considered for a patent. Graham Kemp, VK4BB, tells us what comes next.
Leave it to ham radio operators to know how destructive and even fatal a lightning strike can be. That's why a number of years ago, educators at a school in rural West Bengal, India, sought input from local hams for a project by physics students to help protect farmers when they were caught in the fields during storms and lightning strikes. According to reports in the Indian media, the homebrew, affordably built device, which resembles a bicycle's wheel, has been evaluated by the Central Power Research Institute. It also received recognition in 2020 at the National Children's Science Congress, a national showcase for innovative technology devised by youngsters between the ages of 10 and 17. Newsline described the simple device in its first report on the project in November of 2019, noting that it affixes a wheel-like component to the top of a high bamboo pole An electrical wire connects it to metal in the earth to ground it. The secretary of the West Bengal Radio Club said in media reports that 40 such devices have already been put in place at 40 locations throughout northern Bengal, where the fields for the farmers and their animals are moist and marshy. Now the waiting begins. The Times of India reports that the patent application for the project was filed on July 27. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
A long-standing and well-respected member of the amateur radio community has become a silent key. Frank Butler, W4RH, had been active in ham radio since the 1940s, when he received his commercial and his amateur licenses. He spent part of his professional career as a broadcast engineer at several stations. By many accounts, he gave back generously to amateur radio over many decades. He served for nearly 30 years as the Southeastern Division Director of the ARRL until he stepped down in 2007. He had begun his service with the League in 1957 as Communications Manager for the Western Florida section. According to a posting on the Facebook page of the Alabama section of the ARRL, Frank became a silent key on Tuesday, the 5th of August. He was 100 years old. On March 6th of this year, on the occasion of his becoming a centenarian, the Okaloosa County Board in Florida proclaimed the date Frank M. Butler Jr. Day. Hams throughout the division and beyond posted on social media, recalling him as a gentleman and a frequent and prominent guest at Huntsville and other ham fests. His generous spirit was also widely known. He was a member of the ARRL Maxims Society, which recognizes donors for their extraordinary monetary gifts to the League. A museum project is being hosted online when the ARRL is tracking amateur radio's life story and its impact on society. We have more details from George Zafiropoulos, KJ6VU.
What began as a project of Chuck Penson, WA7ZZE, is slowly growing into Radio Alpha, a ham radio museum and research resource hosted by the ARRL. The historian's vision is to build a tool where documents detailing amateur radio equipment and technology and its evolution can be accessible to everyone in a central location. Announcing the project on the ARRL website, Chuck wrote, "This database will be a living resource, regularly updated and expanded through ongoing research and community contributions, fostering a deeper appreciation and understanding of amateur radio's profound impact on communication, technology, and society." Chuck is looking for volunteers to assist him in building and collecting the content, especially hams with deep knowledge of particular product brands or operating modes. The project is being supported by the ARRL's Historical Preservation Fund. If you're interested in assisting him, he can be emailed at radioalpha@arrl.org. That's radioalpha, one word, @arrl.org. To see how the collection has already grown, visit the link in the text version of this week's Newsline script at arnewsline.org. This is George Zafiropoulos, KJ6VU.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the AH6LE repeater in Beaver Creek and Wilsonville, Oregon, on Sundays at 6 p.m. local time. Viewers of the Ham Nation podcast shared a proud moment with Newsline's Young Ham of the Year, and Don Wilbanks, AE5DW, is here to tell us about it.
On Wednesday, July 30th, it was my honor to present the 2025 Bill Pasternak WA6ITF Amateur Radio Newsline Young Ham of the Year Award to Katie Campbell, KE8LQR. As Katie will be in Germany as a foreign exchange student for her senior year in high school on the weekend of the Huntsville Ham Fest, we presented the award live on Ham Nation, a first for us. Our corporate sponsors, Yazoo USA, Heil Ham Radio, and Radio Waves Antennas, will have some gifts to show their appreciation. Appearing with Katie, along with our Ham Nation regulars Josh Nass, KI6NAZ, Amanda Alden, K1DDN, and Gordon West, WB6NOA, were Young Ham of the Year Committee Chairman Mark Abramovich, NT3V, Judge Rich Moseson, W2VU, Newsline Editor Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT, Newsline's Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, VX Engineering's Tim Duffy, K3LR, and Huntsville Hamfest Chairman Mark Brown, N4BCD. If you missed it live, you can watch the replay on YouTube on the Ham Radio Crash Course channel, or just type Ham Nation in the YouTube search bar. Our sincere congratulations go out to Katie for her amazing contributions to the amateur radio hobby and service. We're looking forward to next March when we again open nominations for the 2026 Young Ham of the Year Award. Again, many thanks to our corporate partners, Yazoo USA, Heil Ham Radio, and Radio Waves, as well as you, our listeners, and the folks who continue to nominate the best of the best young radio amateurs. I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW.
This next story is straightforward and, we hope, easy to understand. But it's about a radio transmitted message that is deliberately, very deliberately, cryptic. Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB, tells us why.
The Enigma machine that the Germans used during World War II to create encoded secret messages is about to be put back into action. KPH, the maritime radio station in California, will be transmitting messages using Enigma encryption for broadcast via both CW and RTTY. Listeners copy the message and then, using an actual Enigma machine they may have in their shack or a simulated one available online, work to decrypt the message, which will be sent in groups of 5 letters each. This annual tradition recalls the hard work of World War II-era cryptographers who ultimately cracked the code. Certificates are awarded for proof of successful decode, first to decode, and for use of original or replica hardware. The broadcast begins at 2000 UTC on the 30th of August on all KPH, CW, and RTTY frequencies. For more details, visit the link in the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB.
In the world of DX, 2 scout stations are finishing up their activations. Scout Station CR5OCEAN is on the air until the 9th of August, operating from the National Maritime Scout Camp Oceanos at the Alcaiva Dam in southern Portugal. Be listening on 40 and 20 meters. QSL via CR6CNE. In Slovenia, another scout station, S50ZLET, is being operated by members of Radio Club Cezana, S59ABL, and Radio Club Koper, S59CST, until the 8th of August for the Slovenian National Jamboree. See QRZ.com for details. Operators with the Summers Island Expedition, IOTA number EU133, are on the air until the 14th of August. They're using the call sign RI1E. Listen for Vasily, R7AA, and Mikhail, RA1ALA, operating CW, single sideband, and the digital modes on 40 through 10 meters. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Special Event Station 9A169 Tesla is on the air until the 31st of December, marking the 169th anniversary of the birth of Nikola Tesla. See QRZ.com for QSL details. In Canada, members of the Atlantic Coast DX and Contest Group are celebrating the 100th anniversary of the International Amateur Radio Union by going on the air throughout August as CG9IARU. They will activate POTA, Worldwide Flora and Fauna, and Canadian historical sites on the air locations. See QRZ.com for QSL and other details. You don't need to be a farmer to celebrate corn season this time of year. Neil Ramp, WB9VPG, introduces us to one home brewer in Iowa who says it's not just corn season, but antenna season. The smiling radio operator greeting viewers of his YouTube videos calls himself Cornfield Kevin. And yes, Kevin, K0KLB, is outstanding in his field, which happens to be an Iowa cornfield. There, in August of 2022, Kevin harvested 2 single sideband contacts between Iowa and Texas while operating on 5 watts using a 20-meter vertical antenna fashioned from corn stalks. He called his creation the Corntenna. This year, Kevin is making the QSOs and the corn pop all over again. In his latest video, he shows how he put corn stalks back to work recently, this time using stalks from a fresh harvest to build a horizontal 20-meter dipole. He tested the quarantenna over a 2-day period and sadly made no contacts on the first day. The next day, after cutting fresh new stalks, he worked his brother Bruce, KE0QQE, on 10 meters. Bruce, who was nearby, gave him a 5.5. Then a POTA activator in Ohio copied him and gave him a 4.4, telling him he was, quote, down in the weeds, end quote. Well, those weren't exactly weeds Kevin was standing in, but the POTA op was correct about the challenging RST. Nonetheless, satisfied with his project, Kevin is sharing the build on his YouTube channel, Ham Radio QRP K0KLB. While you're there, check out Kevin's earlier project for the original vertical quarantenna. After all, when you're a ham on a farm in Iowa, every day can be field day. This is Neil Rapp, WB9VPG. We hope you've been enjoying the ham radio haikus that our listeners have sent in. Have you written one yet? The Newsline Haiku Challenge is as easy as writing a QSL card. Now, we can only accept the correct haiku format, that is, a 3-line verse with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. Submit your work on our website at arnewsline.org. Each week's winner gets a shout-out on our website where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to Amateur News Daily, AMSAT News Service, Analyst IP, the ARRL, CBS, CNN, David Behar, K7DB, Facebook, 425DX Bulletin, the FCC, the Jeffrey Don Foundation, Maritime Radio Historical Society, NASA, Okaloosa County Board, PC Magazine, shortwaveradio.de, the Times of India, the Wireless Institute of Australia, YouTube, and you, our listeners. That's all for the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscast, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Paul Brown, WD9GCO in Valparaiso, Indiana, saying 73. As always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2025. Amateur Radio Newsline retains ownership of its materials even when retransmitted elsewhere. All rights reserved.
Okay, this is W3OC. That concludes this week's Newsline transmission. Okay, I don't have any more announcements or anything coming up. Just remind club members the picnic's coming up the club picnic's coming up on the 23rd. You might, if you're planning on attending, you might let the coordinator, KB3 Sugar Tango, know about it if you're planning on attending, and maybe what kind of, if you're going to bring a covered dish or something for that. That's on the 23rd of, I think it's at 12 or 1 o'clock over at White Oak Park at the Chestnut Grove, I think it is. Okay, that's all I kind of got. At this time, I'll take some late check-ins. Anyone else with your check-in, call now.
Net control. This is November 3, Juliet, Papa, Quebec. Kurt in Norfolk Cells. Good evening to net. No comments.
Kilo Charlie 3 Victor Yankee Mike Wes from Jefferson Hills.
That was, I think, Jeff, I think it was on Echo Link. Kilo Charlie 3 Victor Yankee Mexico. Anybody else, please? Okay, I'm going to close the net out this hour. I showed 19 check-ins on the check-in list. Thank you all for taking the time to listen to us, or check in, or just listen on alternate meetings. That's okay too. Don't forget our other nets, Wednesday nights at 8:30 p.m. on this repeater system, and Thursday nights at 8 o'clock on 10-meter band, 28,460. And with that, we're going to turn the repeater back to general amateur use. It's W30C, also known as W30N. Good night.